What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Hope y'all having a blessed day. So, I was up in Ohio picking up this load at Procter & Gamble. Now, whew, I forgot about this OTR life. Going dedicated for so long, I probably got spoiled. You know, that's what it was. I got spoiled. So, I'm at Procter & Gamble. Got there about 4 o'clock, you know. Try to get loaded. Got a door. And at Procter & Gamble, you got to unhook for your trailer. And they got a bobtail parking spot where you go park it, and then they call you, right? They'll go ahead and call you, your load is ready. So I'm like, all right, you know, no problem. So I was looking at my time, and when I got there, I had about 11, almost 12 hours left on my clock when I got there. So I waited for about good 3 hours first. I'm like, man, I'm looking at it. And you know, I'm going to North Carolina from there. So it's about like a 7-hour ride. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take a 30-minute break. So at least that way, when I get my, when they call me from the load, you know what I'm saying, I have 7.5 hours. I have plenty of time to get there. And I can drive there non-stop. So that's gonna put me getting there, you know, about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, so I'm like, okay, no problem. About 45 minutes, put myself back on duty, you know, still loaded. I'm like, I know I'm finna get a phone call any minute now. So, you know, I just finna lay down in the back, chill out a little bit, talk to the wife, because, you know, I'm from Florida. We got a hurricane on the way there, so I'm trying to make sure my kids, they got everything off the patio, you know, some stuff won't be flying around, all that kind of good stuff. Make sure they got everything, you know. She went to the store, got everything that needed, you know. Just go over, you know, the basic stuff, because you think you know everything, but when you're trying to do everything and everybody out there shopping, sometimes you can't get places. I got to tell her where to go, you know, blase, blase. So after I was on my phone with wife for an hour and a half, I'm looking at the time. I'm like, man, it's like 10:30 now. I'm like, man, what is going on? So I go walk to my trailer. I see the light green. I'm hitting on it, and then I'm looking. I'm like, man, look like they got the door closed. So the load got to be ready, right? So I walk to the shipping office. They got signs everywhere, all on the window, and they just sitting there looking at you. Go to your truck and wait on a phone call. We will call you when your load is ready. Don't even ask. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go, man. Here we go with this and stuff right now. I mean, these other drivers, we looking, because 3 other drivers, you know, we all kind of backed in our door around about the same time, within like a 10-minute period. So we all looking at it. I was like, man, you know, one thing with, you know, you got to be courteous and all this other particular stuff with these shippers. I'm like, man, I want to ask what's going on, because now it's like it's been sitting in the dark for 6.5 hours. So I'm like, man, what is going on? It's 10:30. I'm like, what is going on with this? And I know it's loaded and they got the door shut now. And it's filled up. Well, I got like dish detergent and stuff like that. So, like, so what's going on? So I boost another driver head so he can go up there, right? And he go up there and they click. You can't read the signs? We will call you when your load is ready. He said, and the driver was like, yeah, but my light is green. So that means it's ready. He said, we still got to count everything. We still doing the paperwork. We got to do this, and then we got to send it up to the guard shack and I'm like, oh Lord. So, then they got into it and things like that. So, I said, man, you handled that right. I got ready to do the same thing, but you did it before me. But I had to boost his head up to do it first. I ain't want to be the one. Because I read the signs. And, I understand sometimes about that because, when I was on the Dollar General account, sometimes your trailer be ready, but the paperwork and stuff, it's not ready. And the paperwork got to get done and got to bring it up to the office, all that other kind of good stuff. So I kind of understood what they were saying, but we all been there for over 6 hours. It was like 10:30. So I'm like, man, look at him. So I was like, well, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and just lay back down and just wait on the phone call. I didn't get that phone call until 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, 7 hours. I'm at this place for 7 hours. And he got to go 425 miles. Now, the thing is, they know where it's going. The consignee wanted it there by 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, ain't nowhere in the world you're going to get there at 6 o'clock in the morning. Even if I had a full clock, when I weigh it out, I don't know if y'all can see this. It's backwards, but I weigh it out like at 104. While weighing the load on the property. You know what I'm saying? It's a 7-hour ride. I said that even if I had a full clock, that means I wasn't going to get there if I ran straight through. Took all 7 hours out of the 8 hours to get there. That means I wasn't going to get there till at least 8 o'clock, man. So I'm like, my wife called and be like, hey, just leave yet? I said, no, I ain't leaving yet. She said, you still there? I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving right now. I'm checking out. I'm at the guard shack, checking out. And I'm just like, she like, you there 7 hours? I said, yeah. I said, that's the difference between you being a company driver and you being a lease operator or owner. Because lease, you get detention pay after 2 hours. Company driver, we just sit there for nothing. And we just wonder. Now, the owner ops that was coming up in there, oh yeah, we watching them, man. They pulling up to these dock doors, and then they out within an hour and a half to 2 hours. They gone. The owner ops. And us company drivers, we just looking at each other like, man, what is going on? Like how we was here before them. Some cases we was there 5 hours before them. They get them out within 2 hours. And then like the other dude said, man, he was a Snyder dude. He was like, this is why he wants to get his own truck, because at least he can get detention pay. He said, because when they got to pay, because of whatever reason why they taking a long time, they got to pay you for it. I'm like, man, I wish we got detention pay. Because I guarantee I wouldn't have been there for 7 hours. 7 hours. Now, I don't know how long it was when it exactly got loaded and the light had turned green, because we're not allowed to be up under our trailer. We had to go down a ways to a bobtail parking spot. So no telling how long it was done and everything. But I just was like, really, man? 7 hours. Now, they did have a driver's lounge where they had, snack machines, soda machines, coffee, and they had restrooms. They had clean restrooms at that too. Clean restrooms, they smelled good. So at least this facility had those amenities. Because I've been to some that took like 3 hours and then they be like, well, you can't use our restroom. To me, I can't use y'all restroom. Y'all taking 3 hours to load this truck up, and you gonna tell me I can't use y'all restroom? I said, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna use the restroom. So where you want me to use the restroom at? I'll let you make that decision. But I'm finna use the restroom because it don't take 3 hours to load this in a truck. Well, we're not supposed to let nobody else, let no drivers in. I said, I'm gonna use the restroom. So where you want me to use the restroom at? And then the dude wound up letting me go inside to use the restroom. I'm like, y'all the one took 3 hours. I ain't expect him to be here 3 hours for y'all to load this, and I'm the only truck here. They had 3 dock doors. I was the only truck there. And they started loading me right when I backed in. 5 minutes between the time that I started, from I backed in, they started loading me up. And after 3 hours, they still was loading. I looked in the trailer, and they was only like 65%. I'm like, I'm gonna use the restroom. So where you want me to use it at? I mean, don't take forever in a day, and then we can't use the restrooms there. I mean, to me that's ridiculous how some of these places do it. At least some of these places, you know, they have the little porta potties. At least some of them do. You know, I was like, well, that's better than nothing. You know, but I'm like, what we supposed to do? 3 hours here, and then you talking about we can't use the restroom. Well, what's wrong with y'all? That's nonsense. But anyway, yeah. So I was like, man, this over the road stuff, man, I got to get used to it again. But 7 hours, I couldn't believe that, man. I'm like, 7 hours? Whew. 7 hours. Ate up all my clock. So I was only able to drive for like 2 hours. Then I had to find a place to park. And now y'all know how it is trying to find a place to park around between 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. You might find one. And I did wind up finding one lucky spot. Dude just was leaving as I was pulling in. I was like, all right, cool, I'm going ahead and take his spot. So that was good. But man, this OTR life, man, woo, rough, man, rough. I forgot how rough it was doing this dedicated stuff. You used to use your load ready, you know, you go get your load, you get back on the road, you keep it moving, you know, you keeping it moving. And the OTR life, you gotta sit here and wait 3 hours, 4 hours, 7 hours, and then to get a load sometimes. Oh my goodness, 5 hours to get a load after you didn't finish. One time it took 13 hours to get a load after I was finished. I'm just like, man, it's OTR life. I don't know. Really don't know, man. Anyway, I hope y'all doing good out there. Enjoying what y'all do. Now, I enjoy what I do. That's why I do what I do. Because I enjoy what I do. If I didn't enjoy what I do, then I wouldn't be doing it. So I enjoy what I do. But you know, with every little thing, there's a little stuff that, you know, irks you here and there, stuff like this. But it's nothing to be like, man, I don't want to do this no more. It's nothing. I'm still making decent money. So I can't complain about the money. I'm still making decent money. So, I mean, after being on work comp for as long as I was on work comp and living off that, you know, my living expenses, it's not that much because I own my stuff. You know, I own my motorcycle, I own my truck, I own my car, got the titles. I don't have to worry about nobody coming to get nothing. So I don't have no vehicle payments. The only thing I got is just my house payment and the stuff that goes with your house and stuff like that. You know, so I'm setting myself up for something better. So when I do make the jump, it's easier because I won't have a high overhead as far as home expenses go. So, you know, I try to make sure that I live within my means. And just because I make a little bit more money don't mean that I go and up, you know, my cost and stuff. No, that ain't how you do it. I just take that extra money that I'm making and just save that extra money that you're making. You know, just because you start making a little bit more money don't mean you go buy more stuff and get in more debt. Yes, I could easily go out and get another vehicle, but for what? I got a car, I got a truck, I got my motorcycle. See what I'm saying? So, and I own it. I got the titles. I don't have to worry about nobody coming to get it. You know, it could sit there. If it breaks, it could just sit there. You know, it is what it is. Things like that. Just take care of what you got. I don't need all that expensive stuff. I don't need all that expensive stuff. Get me the A to B, sometimes the Z, I'm good. All right, man. Y'all have a good one, though, man. No matter what, you know, when you're going through things, take the bumps, take the bruises, but you keep moving. Okay? That's what you do. Because at the end, it's the end zone. You know, and then getting inside the end zone, it's not easy. Okay, you're going up against a lot of stuff trying to stop you from getting inside of the end zone. Hitting you, trying to tackle you, trying to drive you backwards. But you got to persevere. You got to keep moving. You got to keep striving. All right, y'all stay encouraged, man. Talk to y'all later.